Greetings, community. It's Kevin of Entropy Comics, and hey, welcome to another edition of this week's signed books. Now, in this week's signed books, I'm going to focus on Mr. Wongedian, and the reason why is not only because, yes, he signed some of my books, but because, well, I think as I further explain, it will develop. So let me first by showing you a few books and the story behind them. Now, starting off, I'm going to show you The Web of Venom, Venom Unleashed. Now this, God, I love this cover. This cover is actually one of my favorite all-time covers, and I was worried about that. Trying to get the, I have a few different reflection things going on. There we go. I should, yeah, actually, you know what? I don't know what I'm thinking. Just light it as I would in my face. There we go. Now you'll notice the name. Well, I should say the signature, how it's done, and how it's done is, as most of us had grown to, how should I say, see most artists and our creators sign is with a Sharpie. Now, this was pre-COVID at a comic book shop in Anaheim. The name at the moment escapes me. However, what I do want to point out is shortly after, it only took a few months after, still pre-COVID, he signed these books for me. Now, you'll notice that how he signed changed. Now, the signature, what I mean changed is not necessarily the signature itself, but he started using whiteout. And that has become, well, his signature and his signature. Yeah. So what I'm getting at is down the road, let's say around 2019, he always signed with the Sharpie, after which he started signing with whiteout. And I thought that was kind of original and kind of neat. Now, those of which that I did a short little how-to on making window boards. And I did also explain that sometimes how a artist or creator signs their books directly affects exactly how long you have to wait for that to dry. Now, in the case of whiteout, you do have to wait a good 2 minutes for it to dry, or it will stick onto the board or any other surface in which that you place that onto. Luckily, I've not had any issues. I just did a comic, but what I have noticed is that, and what my concern is if you start shaking the book or reading or anything like that, you can have that whiteout start flaking off the cover, depending on the cover and which that he signs. Also, grading, I have no idea how that works out. To this day, I don't believe I have anything signed by Juan that is graded, and I'm curious at how they would do it. Not that it's not a signature, it's just that if they were starting to grade it, and after 1 or 2 or 3 individuals who grade it start seeing it and pieces start flaking off, what does that mean? Anyways, so hey, like, I want to get a few more books in there. And the reason why is, Juan is an awesome guy. He has awesome stories to tell. He's a nerd and a half. He loves collecting figurines and all sorts of various toys and artifacts. And there's another one. And I mean, he actually, like us, has a self-proclaimed problem. He buys too much, can't get rid of it, and notices that just doesn't have the room for everything he wants. Over the years that I've known him, I mean, he's done so many various projects, Marvel, I think Dynamite, DC, all kinds of different stuff. What I like is his style. His style has a very gritty, very edgy, and kind of in your face. I mean, I really dig it. Oh, wait, did he sign? Anyways. So, without showing too many more books, which I definitely do have too many more books, but I do want to show, I think he did a signature. Oh man, you gotta admit, this is fucking badass, right? I mean, come on. Seriously. That I want to focus on this. Dun, 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 dun. It's around here somewhere. No! Silly me. I don't know if you recently noticed, but there's been a little bit of tension over at DC in the animation department. You're like, wait, how should I know that? Well, what I mean by that, there has been some news being reported. Not many have actually been reporting on it. So I want to bring it to you first, if I may. Juan Gideon and his project of Jurassic League. You're probably going, oh, yeah, let me guess. There's been options. No, actually. It has not. And I don't want to get this wrong. So what I did is I looked it up from a rumored source that I have told me to look up something. And after he told me what was going on, and it says right here, because this got released yesterday and they're official. DC Studios is reporting developing of the animated Jurassic League movie. According to Jeff Snyder, James Gunn and Peter Safran's DC Studios and Warner Brothers Animation is developing animated movie based on the Jurassic League limited series by Juan Gideon. Seriously, they're doing one's look. This was, I was talking to him. I remember when he was thinking, when it was coming out. And then when I got these things signed, this was just coming out when he was sitting at home. And he was just like, man, what if these characters were dinosaurs? And I'm like, no way. That's awesome. I'll buy it. And he's like, no, here, listen to the pitch. I go, I don't need it. I'll buy it. So they're actually going to develop this. I am so stoked like you wouldn't believe. This is going to be so freaking awesome. It's going to be whacked out in your face. And I'm hoping if everything works out right, Juan has input. So usually in the case of, I don't want to get too lengthy, when you start storyboarding, which I hope he does, and start collaborating, they usually utilize because it saves in labor and cost. And it's mostly true to what the original thing is. That way it can still be loosely based, but it still adapts to that which people know. That sells. I can't wait. Hey, seriously, I appreciate you being here, and I'm looking for Jurassic League, the animated movie. I don't know about you, but I can't wait. Like I said, it's already, I'm just chomping on the bit. Jurassic bit. Yeah, Jurassic League. I appreciate you being here, and that's it for me.